All right, we're going to do really one of the most important things in our Bootstrap experience that we'll do probably all semester. We're going to create a navigation. So if you'll see the screen here, look on the screen, I have a horizontal, what I call a sticky nav. Basically, it's placed right on the top of your page, and it goes horizontally. And then we're using Bootstrap, CSS, and actually a little bit of jQuery, which is JavaScript-based library system. When I collapse to a certain point, the links go away, and then you have this little icon here, and I can click on it, and it'll toggle and expose the navigations that were horizontal vertically. Now if I click it again, they go away. Okay, and it's using Bootstrap and then a little bit of jQuery. If you remember in our Bootstrap we have a little bit of jQuery we're talking to a Bootstrap jQuery file. And we haven't really used it yet, and now we're going to actually use a little bit of it to make this toggling slide up, slide down toggle work. Okay, so this is what we're going to create. Now, the crazy thing about this is we're going to copy and paste the simple one that Bootstrap gives us in a second here. And then we're going to work with the class system of the different navigation parts here, and we're going to be able to color, like I have, the different parts of the navigation, and that is really the tough part. And then what the great thing is that once you do this and you make comments about what it's coloring, you can reuse this over and over and over and over again and change the colors and all that stuff. But you know what the class names are to dig into the different things to color them, and it's a lot harder than you think. So you'll see. So to do that, I'm going to go into Text Wrangler. Sorry here, and I have let me clean up. I have a template here, but let me create just a new template here. I'm just going to take this basic nav. And again, I have a web page, an HTML document, and the template's already connected to the Bootstrap. It's already connected to a specific file, and we'll kind of work from there. Now the file is going to be, it's going to be called nav or nav only. But we can call it nav. How about Nav Style? Nav Style. And again, I haven't really made this a clean template yet, but I'm just going to mainly grab, I want to keep the body tag. I'm going to highlight everything down to that comment where the jQuery is. Ooh, right? So that's where my container closes right here. I want to keep all this stuff, the Bootstrap JavaScript comment. Here's how we get to the jQuery file. Here's how we get to the jQuery file in our folder system under JS. But I'm going to delete everything. Now I have a clean template. And let me show you. Everything is ready to work, but nothing's on the page. Okay? So we're going to start from there. So I want you to get for there, and then we're going to go and we're going to grab the Bootstrap simple, straightforward sticky nav that they give you and then change it a little bit. So I've gone to getbootstrap.com. That's the overall Bootstrap organization that makes Bootstrap. And if you go to Getting Started, click on Getting Started, and then I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and they have this Examples tab right here. Here's this Examples tab. If I click on it, I can see the starter template. Okay, now notice the starter template has sort of that sticky nav idea already on it. Okay, so we're going to grab the coding for that, copy and paste it in our template that we have in Text Wrangler, and kind of work from there to save some time. Okay, and the great thing is, as I said, we're going to learn how to compartmentalize web pages. We're going to have navs all set to go. We're going to have main content areas made separately. And we're going to have footers, the bottom of a page, that are already kind of pre-made that we can change out quickly. All right? So to look at the coding for this page, I can go to View. Oh, I can't do that anymore. Okay. I'm going to hold the Control key down and click on the page. And I'm going to go down to View Page Source. And this is the coding that it takes for this page. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is, right here, there's something called nav. Here's the body tag. We already have one of those on our page, so we don't need it. But what we need is this thing called nav, and everything down, and see where the closing nav tag is right here. I'm kind of circling around it. We want that. So we want the opening nav tag and the closing nav tag here. And I want to copy everything, all that nav stuff, down to the closing nav, including it. And I'm going to go Command C and copy. And then I'm going to go into our template. And here's the body tag. And right below the body tag, let's actually do this. Let's make a comment and tell it what this is going to be below it. So that way we'll kind of have a comment about what goes what. Okay? And then I'm going to paste that coding that I just copied and save the file. Okay? Now one more thing. Now we don't have the file made yet. But remember that in this custom style sheet, the CSS file, in that CSS folder, we're going to have a file called nav_style CSS. So I don't have one yet, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here to make one. I'm going to click that little icon right there. And I'm going to go in, oh sorry, I made a mistake. Let me do this again. I'm going to go File, New, and see how it's just untitled. It's just a text file waiting to be named and saved. So I'm going to go File, Save, and I'm going to find it, and you guys will have an easier time. I'm going to find it where I'm supposed to go here. And here's where I was. Here's my clean template. Okay, and I'll rename it like nav only or sticky nav or something. But I'm going to save this as nav style.css. Nothing on it yet, but it's all saved, ready to go, and it's going to be saved in that CSS folder. Okay, so we have one ready, but we don't have anything on it. I'm also going to go back to this clean template, and I'm going to go File, Save As, because it's going to make a copy of this. It's going to keep the clean template.html, but I want to save it right here, and I'm going to call it like sticky nav only, just to kind of let me know what it is. Now again, it's already connecting to a file called Nav Style inside the CSS folder here. So it's going to be working once we add CSS to that CSS Nav Style file. All right. So if you want to look at this, I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to double click, and there it is right there. Okay? So it works. Even the jQuery, again, is connected, and it works. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to color this thing. And again, it's a pretty funky class system that took us a while to kind of get the naming structure correct last year. All right, so we have that. That's what we're starting with. Now what I'm going to do is, if you'll notice on the example, mine has store, first of all, it has Westview High School, and then it has store, Facebook, blog, downloads, and contact. We're going to change that out first. Okay, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to go down to that nav stuff right here. Okay, and instead of saying project name, we're going to keep toggle navigation. Okay, that does nothing. You don't even see that. But it's this word that shows up on the left. And we're going to say Westview High School. Okay? Now, if you remember, I have store, Facebook, blog, downloads, contact. Store, Facebook, blog, downloads, contact. Okay. So the first one is store. I forget. Facebook, blog, downloads. Okay. 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 And remember, our example only has 3. I'm going to add a couple more to it by copying one of these. Downloads, and then I got to copy one more list item. Again, a list item is inside a UL, an unordered list. Here's the beginning of the unordered list, here's the closing, and each of these list items are part of this UL. And then contact. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is if you'll see where it says number sign about, I'm just going to use the number sign. Okay? And there's not, number sign's a trick, but we don't need these words. This is what's called a target. Those words. And we don't actually need those in our use of this thing. Okay? So now, if you go and let me show you here. Okay, so now we got Westview High School, store, Facebook, blog, downloads, contact. And again, because we set it up already to be connected with that JS folder where the jQuery file is inside, and also the CSS folder where the Bootstrap .min CSS file is, it works. Okay, it's not designed properly, but it works. Okay. So the next video, we're going to go into the CSS. So just go ahead and save that, and we'll go to the next video.